sides now. All right? And she's not even finished because I'm going to hold her head down on either side. And I'm going to go in with my razor. And I'm going to soften or texturize or blend this back area of the head. Moving my hand upwards towards the front. I'm trying to keep her very soft. Sometimes you just use your thumb. See that thumb? You use it, and you use your thumb to push that hair where you want it to go. Push it out the way, push it on, you know, whatever you got to do. Push that hair. You're in control of this head, not the head is in control of you. Blend that sides. Now, remember I said the front of her head is not really laying flat. I'm going to push the hair away and I'm going to texturize and connect blend my edges in so it's more textured around the side of her head.
So basically you're blending so you can't see that line.
Absolutely. I'm trying to remove, but it's a little bit weighted and I don't want to go in there and be extra. Like how, you know, you ever go to some trade show and they're doing carrying on. You want to be able to know that you're doing the right thing and you're seeing what you're doing when you're doing. So I'm blending that here now. Look at this, but I'm pushing the hair towards me. Make sense? Because remember her sides are a little bit shorter. All right, so that's basically, basically, a part of what I do is cutting, and she's not yet finished, but as you could see, she has some movements. Remember, certain factor, do your outline first, go in, create your line. You must know where you're going to start with a haircut. That first cut become your traveling guide towards your front. If you want to leave a lot of hair towards the front, then once you cut or give that flat line across or textured line, you're going to take the next hair, bring it towards you, always stand behind the head, push that hair back, or to create more texturing, stand in front and create texture so the hair moves, with you. See, sometimes I feel with my hand it's a little bit too weighted and I want that hair to move a little bit more with me. So I softly go in and I'm texturing. This particular technique can be used on weaves, as well, especially with the weavers. They do a lot of bobs. Is that a fact? You do a lot of bobs. You have people that come in your salon to do a bob, right? My next class, I want to teach you how to really do a real awesome bob. If you look on my page, I have a young lady that came into to me that Queenie gave me. That is before Queenie learned how to do a bob. She gave her to me, and I just texturized the entire hair with my razor and gave her a lovely finished look. Nobody could tell if it was a weave or if it was her hair. That is the premise to your story, your life. Make sure that when you do your work, someone should not be able to visually tell, that your client, oh, that's a weave that she's wearing. Learn to texture hair. So remember, even weavers, you could come in and you can see me. I'm going to be posting my next class where I could teach you how to texture weave hair. And you know, it's like a weave world now. So why not talk about it? Because you know, it is affecting some of us who does natural hair as well. So therefore, for the weavers, I can truly say that if you come in to see me, Marcia Gallant, and one of my class, I could truly hold you by your hand, take you step by step, teach you how to go in and texture within the hair, you know, internally and externally. Because when you're especially texturing weave hair, or am I saying that correctly? Weave hair, you have to learn how to go into the exterior and the interior. Especially, you got to know how to lift the hair from underneath. Feel, I'll teach you how to feel so you know that you're not removing a lot of weight from that hair. So when you move that hair with your hand, that weave is moving with you. You want me to cut your hair? Put a little bit of layers in your hair? No, you're wearing a bob. I mean, I could, you know, you want me to, but you just like it real straight. Okay, so, and there are some people that likes their hair straight, but there are, I think bob should have some form of texture in it. Regardless if you're going at a 45 or you're elevating your hand higher, where you're over directing or you're pulling that hair out towards you, bob should have a little bit of movement. It shouldn't be so flat. So even when you wear your hair and you're creating lines, that's another important thing too. Bobs is about line. All right, so when you're creating that line, it's just going to sit in that mode, you know, in that position. But you can actually go in with your shear and you can texture a little bit, or you can raise it slightly by elevating, not to remove the line that you have created, but you're going within the hair itself to create texture. Because there is no one hairstyle that's the same. So you may have someone that like you, who just like that, you know, basic bobs. And I tell you something, when I went away, there was a guy that came to this particular class 5 times. 5 times. And everybody looked on a weave, on a bob, and you said, okay, it's easy for me to do a bob. Bob is not easy. I tell you that right now. Because bob is about line, bob is about weight, bob is about texture, and you have to know how to really go in and do that bob to create the movement or the look you're looking for. Because another thing that mess up a lot of people when they're doing a bob, they don't know how to connect from behind the ear, how to bring this here. Once they start in the center and they get to here, whether you start trying to create a line, you notice that when you reach to the ear section, what do you always have? A gap. I can teach you how to cut between your comb and texture. Because another thing, I'm going to give you a hint about bob again. When you cut your first line, and let's say you're doing a diagonal bob, where you're creating lines under the neck, and you're flowing that around. When you get to your next section, that client should be standing straight up, and you should be holding your comb, because it's about balancing. Sometimes what I've done for a long time, and I've done this for years, and I tell you, it was a wake-up call for me. Once I bring that next section down, I thought I was supposed to like press onto the head again. No, what I want to teach you is that you got to let that hair fall on its own. That's what I want to teach you. That's what I learned. How to use my comb, cut my next section, go in flat on the head, not onto the head, but at the last section that was cut. That makes sense to you? And that's how you create elevation. It's not by just cutting that bob and you sink it towards the head and everything is just cutting blunt around. There is no balancing. I learned how to balance some haircut. And I learned how to hold that comb that down and balance that hair around. Because the bob is falling. So why do we want to go onto the head itself? Let it fall and let it have its own movement. When you're finished with the haircut, then you go in and you remove your excess. All right? So I just want to let you know, there's a lot that I have under my belt that I want to teach you and I want to share with you. So please just follow me on Instagram at Marcia Gallant, Marcia_Gallant. Sorry about that. Marcia_Gallant. Also, my website is up. I'm going to have a lot of events posted on my website as well. But I want to follow you. I want to go with you on your journey because I'm at the point right now, after 25 years, it's time for me to exit and start teaching, start sharing. So if you give me that chance, I could teach you how to be a better artist, how to continue to educate yourself, how to take your business to the next level. Every hairstyle should not walk out of your salon and look the same. All right? So these are some of the things that I want to teach you. So I thank you so much for coming. I am going to finish her up and show her movements, her texture, create more texture, and make sure I get her lines balanced properly where I could, at a better time. I know it's getting late and there's food upstairs. I want you to go upstairs and I'm